Continuing here. So, yeah, this is a big deal. It's about killing people, killing human beings. And everybody's got to sort that out in their own minds. But, if you're for the capital punishment, then you've got to be willing to do the dirty work yourself. That's all I'm saying. And if you're not, then you're a big fat hypocrite. Remember, your beliefs have to hold water. And you're going to face almost every time there's an execution, and they might get the wrong guy. It does happen. That's a matter of record. Later, they find out with DNA, and hey, wow, we killed the wrong guy. So that blood's not on my hands because I don't prescribe to it. I believe in ethics rehabilitation centers. With the jails, the prison system the way it is, all this recidivism, it doesn't make any sense. So, a normal person has conscience. They value it. And that's a good example. I mean, he played the part really well. He did a really good, convincing job of, just how disturbed it felt, the crisis of conscience that overcame him. And, that's what you should feel. If somebody's executed, even for, death penalty, then that is first degree murder. It's premeditated on the part of society. So it's with malice aforethought. Yes, we intend to kill you now for killing others, right? Or for trying to kill others, whatever. In that case, I mean, he went through this big, lengthy internal investigation. It's just they do shops. They got to, do this thing. And, but he really resented it because, I mean, it was a really tender time for him when he was already struggling like crazy. And, but they wanted to jump in right away because his memory was freshest right after the incident they felt. But it's a big deal. Taking a human life is a big deal. I got a very dear friend that was put in a position where he had to, in defense, he took a man's life and he did time for that. But, there's all degrees of killing. There's voluntary manslaughter, just good old plain manslaughter. I mean, so these things can happen to anybody. I mean, sometimes people have gotten in trouble for killing burglars in their own house. I understand in England they've got a policy where you're not allowed to use lethal force, even though you got some guy invading your home. You're not allowed to shoot him. I mean, so you could get in a lot of trouble just for defending yourself sometimes. So it's pretty messed up. And all I can say is if I ever hurt anybody, I sure as hell didn't want to. Hell, I don't even want to hurt your feelings, So that's where I'm coming from. I mean, to what avail? What does it profit me? All I'm trying to do, I want everybody to be my friend. I don't want anybody to feel threatened by me. I don't want to be a threat to anybody. And likewise, I don't want anybody threatening me. I don't want anybody being a threat to me. But I live in a world where it's constantly like that. I mean, we all either comply to some degree or we're going to wind up dead or in jail. I mean, that's it. The current beast establishment system, okay, that's how it is. I mean, people say, oh, well, you understand costs. Well, no, I understand homesteading. I want to be a public property. Well, who's the government? The government, public property belongs to the government. Who's the government? The only legitimate government is we the people. So why can't I homestead? Why can't I go take some property? It's public. I'm paying taxes to support this property. Why can't I go and take, you see what I mean? Oh, well, no, you can't. And no, you can't live here. You're living next to my housing division. You can't, no, don't break the law. No, no. It's like just persecution. It's like, no, you don't get to survive if you're poor. I mean, we're so screwed up, man. We're so evil as a race, as a species, as a nation. We have fallen so far and we are in so much trouble and our parents are coming home. That's a day of reckoning. That's a good news for the righteous who hunger and thirst for righteousness day in and day out. They want God's will established on earth once and for all, never to be changed again. And that day is coming. Thank God that day is coming. Thank God. That is good news, man, for the righteous. Because this scene sucks, man. We have all these laws, almost every law under the sun to protect, special groups of people, whatever race, gender, all, and that's good. We're Americans and we believe in protecting minorities and everything else out there. But you know what? It's interesting. We don't have any laws that protect your political affiliation. You think that's not divisive by nature, by deliberation? You think that with the fact that we don't have anything? If you're a Democrat, you can just whole cloth discriminate against anybody based on you. I hate you. No, you're not renting from me. No, I'm not selling to you. Get the hell out of my restaurant. I'm a Democrat. You're a Republican. I am not doing business with you. Did you know that? That is the status quo. That's how it stands right now. And you learn that. I took real estate school, of all places. That's where I learned it. You can openly, overtly, over the table, wholeheartedly discriminate against people of a different political party. And everybody, race, creed, color, religion, lack of religion, gender, they're all in that mix. Remember, on both sides of this thing. And you think that's not going to inherently cause division, induce division? I mean, of course, these people are so cunning and diabolical. It's their religion. This is what they want us at each other's throats. They want us to blame each other for the problems. You, local Democrat, you, local Republican, it's your fault that we can't have our way. We don't have justice in the land. And that's nothing can be further from the truth. Remember where it's taken from. The money masters of misery, the money printing class, and all their collaborating, collusive politicos, sycophants that go along with it. That's who's doing this to us, man. That's all it takes. And they own the mainstream media outlets. Of course they do, to manipulate. It's the gaslighting part of it, psychological warfare. How do you think this Overton window gets moved? Who do you think's moving it? Who do you think's manipulating us? These are the clowns that are doing it. They're evil clowns, is who is doing this to us. And their time is running out. Thank God their time is running out. Thank God. Thank God that we stop blaming each other for your political affiliation, or, hey, that's your beliefs, man. And you should, if you're convicted and you really believe them passionately, then go for them. That's what you got to do. I'm not going to resent anybody. I'm not going to resent you because of what you believe, if you really believe it. Not if you're being a liar, being intellectually dishonest. I don't respect that. Or choosing to be delusional, deluded, and deceived, and ignorant, okay, about who's, where the problems are coming from. So these, changing a rule, regulation, law, getting your guy or your gal into the office, okay, it's nothing, man. It's just nibbling around the edges and nothing's getting done. The trajectory stays the same. Death and destruction. More burden for the masses. More wealth being stolen from the people that are least complicit in this thing. Okay? All right, on to some current thoughts from the past couple of weeks. I've really got backed up. I'm not going to be able to finish all these thoughts, I don't think, because I've just had a lot of thoughts, I guess. In a nation that values free speech rights, as paramount, anyone must be afforded the privilege to say whatever they want. Just be prepared for anyone else to say whatever they want about what you said. I strongly recommend that all those who believe the earth is overpopulated to consider solutions that are fair, reasonable, and thoughtful all the way through. For example, you may believe voluntary or even forced euthanasia is the answer. But wouldn't it make more sense to stop vaccinating the public and allow Mother Nature to thin the herd, quote, through another event akin to the Black Plague? Or how about all those who believe the earth is overpopulated join a voluntary euthanasia group and save the earth one member at a time? Yeah, you got to think about your views on this stuff. Get your beliefs, your opinions straight from the horse's mouth, straight from God, the Spirit of truth, man. Everybody has equal access. We're all without excuse if we don't tap into that most valuable of all resources. That's right there for you, for all of us. Just on our knees, man, praying, God, please convict me if I'm wrong. Teach me the truth. Give me the right belief system, the right opinion, the right credo, the right philosophy. And let me go forth and preach and teach what you have given me. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, man. But yeah, all this push for vaccinations is like, I thought the world was overpopulated according to guys like Bill Gates, and then he's pushing vaccinations. I mean, that doesn't add up, right? There's something wrong with that equation, okay? Do you understand why I'm a little suspicious and a little cynical about those kind of people pushing vaccines? but yet they, talk openly about how the earth is overpopulated. So one wonders, what is there, what's going on here? You understand? If it doesn't make sense, okay, then there's a reason for that. And it doesn't make sense. So let's stop pushing vaccines and let Mother Nature thin the herd. If the herd's got to be thinned, culled, like these people talk about, they want to get rid of, by the way, the vast majority of human beings. I cite the Georgia Guidestones. If you reference that and look at these new monuments, they build new commandments. They want to get rid of, they want to get the earth down to 500 million, let's put it that way. So you do the math. It's well over 90% of us they want to cull, kill, get rid of to save the earth. They're good guys. They're good guys. But yet there's the same element of people that are pushing vaccines all the time. I don't get that. Why would you push vaccines if vaccines are going to save lives and then talk about how the earth needs to be depopulated? You understand? I mean, am I wrongfully cynical? Suspicious? I don't think so. It is not the masses of humanity, excuse me, that are truly evil, truly sinful, yes. Let me start again here. It is not the masses of humanity that are truly evil, truly sinful, yes. Rather, it is a tiny minority that are truly evil. The situation, scientifically speaking, is that it only takes a tiny minority to be the critical mass, the rudder for steering and rendering the masses into the image and likeness of said truly evil. Tiny minority. This truly evil tiny minority. They're rendering us into their image, except without the power. Unless you understand the intense, acute, diabolical nature of this critical mass, the rulers of this world system establishment, you are very likely to be duped, deceived into becoming truly evil. Yeah, that's it, man. You got to be on your guard. You got to be determined not to be evil, or else you're going to fall into the trap and become evil. So, yes, I warn people a lot, man. Jump ship, man. Come out of darkness into light. What's my motive? Because I will have your blood on my hands or on my head, metaphorically speaking, when I stand before my owner someday, if I don't do something to warn you. The only viable reason we can't be on everyone's side is because we've been trained thusly. Perception, for all intents and purposes, is our reality. As such, to actually believe we have the choice, the power to be every person's true friend, is a huge departure from the status quo. Recently, I figured out why I never figured out what I want to do when I grow up. Quote, the reason is that there are so many cool ways to spend my time serving God and man, I need to do them all. In the meantime, I am very much enjoying the manner with which I currently serve God and man. Anything else is pure gravy. This is a good reason to want to live forever. Yeah, I've got a good life. I'm really enjoying my life. As much as it might look like, I'm filled with consternation and angst and frustration, well, that might be true to some degree. But also, I'm a big believer in stopping to smell the roses and enjoying my life. I check in all the time with God, Got to, man. It's tough being human. I'm needy, yes, and there's nothing wrong with being needy. And he meets those needs. And he'll meet them for you and everybody else, man. God is good. He loves us, man. And he understands us more than anybody else can love and understand us. It's not fair to put any human being in the place of God. So, psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors, therapists, all you people have your place. I know, it's great, fine. You can give people coping mechanisms. Sometimes I think I might end up, wanting to seek out some psychology or some tricks that maybe help me to have more self-control in my life. But I don't look to man to solve my problems. I know I'm not going to find it from a priest, a preacher, anybody. It's not fair to them. Only God knows me and loves me and understands me the way I need to be known, loved, and understood. And that goes for you too and everybody else. We need God, and there's nothing to be ashamed of to admit that. Crutch, whatever it is, man, fine, doesn't matter. But we are needy, man. If indeed it is true that we need to essentially thin the human herd, then we should do it in a logical and fair manner. For example, immediately do away with vaccines, since the whole premise behind vaccination is to save lives, preventing life-threatening diseases, And these diseases would allow Mother Nature to thin the herd. Number two, euthanasia are simply suicide booths, as depicted in the cartoon Futurama. Number three, encourage real warfare as a gladiatorial sport, right? So you get warriors willing that just want to go out and kill. They don't care, the guy is right or not. Let's just like WWE fight. They don't have anything against each other personally, but they go in these fights. So we could do that with war. We could allow people that just want to go fight wars to go out there freely, go kill each other, right? So there's another way to think.